your mother. It's time for another episode of Birds with Friends. Just a trio of feathery brethren weathering any season to see the Eagles eating teams like Scrammy's top with cheese. It's Philadelphia. Bo, Sheil, and Zach kicking it cooler than 3 penguins till Zach runs off with his valet keys. He's a real nuanced goose. Pull up a branch, get loose. It's time for some juice on some
Birds with Friends.
The early bird gets the worm, but prefers getting turned like a turn on some
Birds with Friends.
Bo, Sheil, and Zach coming at you with stats and things flapping their wings on
Birds with Friends.
All I know is Zach said he has a game where Sheil don't read both 7,000 words, and I said I'm in. Let's go. Let's do it.
And so the purpose
that's what I needed was not to get at least one more reader. The presenting sponsor for today's episode of Birds with Friends is Visa, a network working for everyone. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Birds with Friends Thursday evening. Bo Wulf, Marissa Morris, Sheil Kapadia, Zach Berman, and Zach, as somebody alluded to on the chat as we are live on YouTube, you can't spell Blake fast without BWF. How are you?
I'm doing great. Excited for this podcast. Been looking forward to it all day. Sorry it's not at 3:30, but happy we're doing it at 7:30.
Would you say it's the thing you've been looking forward to the most all day?
I was looking forward to my meal the most all
that
day.
makes sense.
But after that, this was number 2 on my list without a doubt.
Okay. Sheil, how are you? Thursday night, you got a game, you're national man.
That's right. This is like this is kind of the end of my week. My week starts on a Sunday morning and goes till we're done recording this on a Thursday night, and then I get then the next week kind of starts. So
NBN.
I'm not doing. Yeah, I don't work hard enough for you, but that's
I'm not saying that. I'm just like, what a nice thing.
That's your problem, not mine. So
I know
we're coming off what was described as an all-time episode. I think Z-Berm's performance, getting rave reviews pretty much from any corner of my life. I was happy that we recognized it live, how good it was. I know some people were asking for it to return tonight. I don't. If we're gonna do that, you guys didn't tell me, so I don't think we don't want to overuse it. I think it'll
Tuesdays,
be a nice Tuesday night
National
staple.
Sheil.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh yeah, I mean, I felt like I was watching my son like ride a bike for the first time. Like I was so proud, like to see Zach finally taking the reins, leaning in. It was fantastic.
Look, I was just trying to keep pace with you guys, right? If I didn't, if I didn't lean into that segment, it would have made for an awkward segment. So
we've had a lot of awkward segments over the years.
I know that's right.
That is true.
All right. Well, we've got some stuff to get to. We will preview the game on Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. We'll tap into Sheil's voluminous knowledge of everything going on around the league. We will have our Swooper forecasting. So if you are live in the chat, make sure you submit some options for us to use on Swooper forecasting. Zach, of course, carrying in the most turkeys. Zach, I know you weren't at the facility today, but over the past couple of days since we last talked, what's the haps and the craps? What's news? What do we got going on?
It's been a quiet week for news. The Eagles rested a lot of players on Wednesday, which I think is worth just a brief mention here, because my guess is this is how they will operate going forward this season. They took a very specific approach to training camp, right? The shorter practices, more days off, giving veterans days off, and then you saw there were like 6 or 7 guys, I don't have the exact number in front of me, who were either out or limited Wednesday because of rest. And my guess is they'll continue to operate this way to try to keep them healthy throughout the year. Their injury report is pretty nice so far, so I give them credit for that. And
what do you mean, like the layout of it?
No, I just mean that relative, and I know you can't necessarily control injuries. Like, so if a guy tears his ACL, he tears his ACL, right? But we've seen injury reports where the Eagles are missing like 8 or 9 guys because of injury, and so far that has not been the case.
Zach, Kentavious Street.
Kentavious, I don't have that one. Auburn? Is that right?
Sorry, NC State.
NC State.
I believe he was a friend of your favorite.
Okay.
Sheil, I know you're gonna get mad at me. I
don't know where Kentavious Street went to college, so yeah. Don't bring that over here.
You're gonna get mad at me for asking this question, but Didn't you have some questions for Zach about the fast?
No, I mean that you guys were asking him about the fast, and we said save it for the pod. So yeah, what I wanted to know was how long was the fast, and when do you break it, and how much do you eat when you do break it? Were my questions.
So, look, you're supposed to go sundown to sundown. I think for full disclosure, I might have started eating when the sun was just coming down and not completely down.
That's okay.
But I mean,
it's the thought that counts. So plus, you had a 7:30 show.
It was pretty close to 24 hours. And number one, and number two, what did I eat? Typically people eat breakfast food, but I had some.
Oh, really?
I had some pizza. I had some pasta. So I did a little carb loading, if you will.
Got to get ready for the pod. Did you get? Was it Tacanelli's? Did you get your favorite?
No, my brother picked it up. I believe it was Santucci's.
Okay,
but I don't want to speak.
I feel like you know a Santucci's when you see it. There's no mistaking a Santucci's.
It certainly looked like a Santucci's. Yes.
Okay.
So last night before it began, did you feast? Like, do you make sure the stomach's full because you know what's coming up here?
So not feast, like you try to be like practical in terms of what you eat last night, but it's not supposed to be easy, right? Like you're supposed to feel it. That's the whole purpose of it. So, and it frankly wasn't too bad. I'm not a runner, but I've heard this expression from runners before.
Unless you're parking someone's car.
Yeah, that's a sprint though. But I've heard this expression from people who run long distances where like you feel it at first and then you break through to a certain point where you like get your rhythm, but the beginning of the run is the hardest part. I would say, not that I'm an expert on fasting, right? But midday today was difficult. But then once I got past lunch, the last few hours weren't as hard as one would think. So
now, are you allowed to have anything? Can you have a black coffee? Can you have, can you have water or no, nothing?
So I brushed my teeth. But I did not drink water. You're not allowed to have coffee. So.
Oh, wow. No hydration.
Anyways,
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well,
What do you guys think about?
As people have noticed, you look good. The shirt looks good. And the chair. I mean, I don't know what kind of monster chair you got there, but that looks just about like the most comfortable chair.
It's like Carson Wentz's bed.
Now it's a recliner. And I'm taping this from a different room because I want the Wi-Fi to be stronger. I was embarrassed in previous episodes how often I cut out. So our router is in the basement, and so I am in the basement right now, making sure that we get strong connection here.
What do you guys think about this business idea? A competitor for Santucci's called Stan Tucci's, and we get Stanley Tucci to be the face of the organization.
So the 49ers have been hit with, I think, Dre Greenlaw, the linebacker, was announced today. He's going to be out 6 weeks or so. They lost Jason Verrett, the cornerback, in week 1. They lost Raheem Mostert, the running back, in week 1. And we don't know if Javon Kinlaw, the first-round pick from last year, is going to play. So, Zach, just as you were sort of mentioning that the Eagles have a pretty nice, as far as injury reports go, pretty nice. They're in pretty good shape. The 49ers are a team that lost, 1, 2, at least 3 starters. You don't know if Kinlaw is going to play. You don't know if Emmanuel Mosley, the other starting cornerback, if he's going to play. He had a hamstring injury and didn't play in week 1. So it's a bit of a banged up group coming to Lincoln Financial Field.
That's right. Why don't we get into it? Little quill of the tape. We'll talk about it. So I gotta say, Elijah Mitchell, my guy. He was like throughout the draft process, he was my day 3 running back guy. So to see, my child go out and perform like that in week 1, pretty exciting stuff. And I'll take a whiff. We'll take a whiff right away.
Is there documentation of that? I mean, I don't remember. Zach, you might remember. I don't listen when Bo starts getting into.
I knew that you would say that, and there is. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I believe you. Okay.
I think in my best case scenario mock draft for the Eagles, he's in there, and I say that he's my favorite guy. And then also, if you go to the shadow draft, you'll see where he's ranked. So.
All right. So Z Burton, what I need from you during the post game pod is that if Elijah Mitchell rushes for like 43 yards on 15 carries and has a fumble, I need you to give Bo sort of the Kyle Pitts treatment from last week.
Totally fair.
Not the same thing.
Except we're talking about the fourth overall pick.
Okay.
Versus the 6th rounder. Okay. All right. So let's talk scheme. Let's talk matchup. Let's get into all that stuff. Talk about the 49ers offense, obviously, where it all starts. And Sheil, of course, the question I'm going to ask.
No, I have no idea. And nor do I know if I'm going to be willing to answer it either.
The question, as always, when it comes to Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay, you've got all this misdirection. The question, is there a misdirection?
Oh, I thought it was going to be about. I thought you were doing like a Mike Zimmer double A gap, like had him. And I guess the equal to that would be like, how do you make sure your guys' eyes are right?
Yeah,
they're trying to mess with your eyes.
All the eye wash,
Which is legit. So the 49ers offense, there's not a lot of mystery. We've seen what they've wanted to do for years now. They want to run the ball. They want to use play action, and they want to attack the middle of the field, the intermediate middle part of the field. I mean, that is what they do. Their run game is usually pretty efficient. Their entire offense has not been great under Kyle Shanahan. It's really been two different offenses when they've had Jimmy Garoppolo, which of course you can see this in the playbook. Thanks to Fran Duffy, he plugged the playbook more than my own co-host. I mean, that very interesting to me. That's certainly not true. Caught my attention. I think 2 plugs he gave, during his.
I did. I heard that. I gave it 2 plugs in the cheat sheet last week.
I saw that. Yeah.
Although I was also just copying what you wrote, so I better have given it a plug.
I mean, that was kind of like I can do less work by just copying and pasting, which I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong. That's sort of been my career motto.
I need that cheat sheet to be a light lift, baby. I need that thing needs to not take up so much of my week.
I mean, really, you guys. I don't know. I'm sure you guys did this. You should have done an audit before the season of everything you've done in the past, and whether you want to keep the same format and stick with it, what's working, what's not. I mean, that's a smart thing to do before every season. You don't want to just get stuck like, oh, we did this last year.
That was part of the audit.
Again.
Make the cheat sheet a lighter lift.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I frankly thought, it would still look pretty heavy to me, but I would have to lighten it up a little bit more.
We changed the 8-point lead. That I used to have. I used to have those Friday notes, and we're not doing those for Fridays anymore. Now we're trying to get some midweek thoughts in. The purpose of it being so it has a little more shelf time. Number one, and it looks back to previous game, looks ahead at the next game. So, so that's consistent with what you're saying about not just doing something because you've always done it.
No, Bo was trying to get strong with the day after. I was a little surprised by that. Although I enjoyed the day after from week 1. Don't get me wrong.
I feel like the day after
that might have a little change.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's legacy. It feels like the way
from the B247 days.
If it was going to go, if we were going to be fully remote again, it would have been. I might have ditched it entirely. But for now, I'll keep it going.
When you in the locker room, that's a tough one.
It is. It's it's tough to keep it fresh. What were we going to say, Zach?
So when Bo and I had lunch one day, when I was about to take the job, and I was kind of getting a sense of how he envisioned the coverage, a transitioning from Sheil to me, and as his partner, the one thing he was like adamant about was the day after. He's like, I wanted it. And by the way, I was like, by all means, take it, right? Like I want to right there. Like I want something up after the game. My personality is such that it would pain me if like I went to sleep and I'm waiting for Monday morning when that thing's coming out. I probably wouldn't sleep because I want to get that out. So I'm like,
well, this is ridiculous inside baseball, but I actually predating that. I remember Sheil as he was going national saying, I think you do a good job with the day after, as if he was handing the baton.
I think there were times you would write stuff where I'm like, that lead is better than what I wrote for the day after, so just do that. But then, you kind of got screwed by a pandemic, and you can't really get any locker room.
I did get 1 year.
And here we are. You got 1 year out of it. Okay, the 49ers. So their offense has been very efficient with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's been like a top 5 performing offense if you just isolate the snaps when he's been on the field, but he's missed, I think, 23 of a possible 48 games over the last 3 seasons. They did a terrible job with their backup quarterbacks, thinking they could stick anyone in there, Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard, and their offense would fall apart when their backup had to play. I mean, really, you're talking about one of the worst 5 or 6 offenses in the NFL when their backups had to play. So, of course, Garoppolo is healthy for now. He will be starting this game. He has, familiarity with the scheme. Like I said, there's not going to be a lot of surprises there. And so that's what you're looking at. And then, of course, there will be some intrigue around how are they going to use Trey Lance. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Dan McQuaid. Awesome.
Well, the question for the listeners is, apologies if this
sorry,
question has been asked before. Does Zach just have framed Argyle patterns on his wall? Again, a tough one for the listeners of audio only to pick up on.
That's why you've got to watch on YouTube.
Honestly, I'm gonna do these in front of the white wall from now on. Like, I don't want my backdrops to be a topic of conversation. My wife is the designer for the house, so like she's the one who. Yeah. So anything here,
we've gassed up that painting many times before. I love that painting.
So in for now on, I'm just gonna do either the bookshelf or the white wall. I'm gonna figure out this Wi-Fi situation so we don't have to address it. I don't know what those are. Whatever they are, my wife got them. So
bring back the mirror. That's right.
The mirror's in the room, actually. Yeah. So
Trey Lance played 4 snaps last week. I don't know that he's going to be a big part of the game plan. I think he could come in the red zone. Of course, when he comes in, you have to be aware of the quarterback runs. I think they just wanted to put it out there so that teams would have to spend some prep time on it during the week. But I would be surprised if we were coming out of this game thinking, wow, Trey Lance, that 10-play package, he really carved the Eagles up.
Gannon said something sort of interesting about that on Tuesday, that he sort of embraces that. I mean, what's he going to say? He's a defensive coordinator, but like he sort of appreciates that challenge. And he didn't seem like sort of, scared of it or give it too much credence. So he's like, these guys do different things. It's fine. Well, it's like 2 different running backs or 2 different wide receivers with different skill sets. Like you know what they do, and that's your job.
Now, my big question with this week is what we learned about Jonathan Gannon and this defense, or what we think we learned about them in week 1.
Right.
Does that still hold true when you guys are talking about this game Sunday night? Because as we discussed earlier in the week, a lot of split safety looks, a sort of overall philosophy of we don't mind playing with a light box. If you want to run the ball a little bit on us, we're not giving up yards, but we're going to live with that. We're going to limit the explosive plays, which of course they did. Do you take that same approach here when you have an offensive coordinator who really wants to run the ball and loves a game where his quarterback, has to complete 7 passes and you can win by a couple touchdowns like they did in the playoffs a couple of years ago? And so that is what I'm most intrigued by. And then sort of the personnel matching. The 49ers were in 11 personnel on just 20 snaps last week. They'll play with a fullback. They'll play with multiple tight ends. So you're going to have to, those linebacker rotations are going to have to be a focus this year. Who's playing when? How are they playing? Are certain guys performing better than other? I think those, to me, are some of the key areas of focus for this.
And
game.
I mean, just from watching that game, if you're an offensive coordinator, I would certainly think you would want the Eagles in their base defense more than in their nickel, right? You want Jannard Avery on the field, not Avonte Maddox.
Yeah, and would it even be? I mean, they might make I don't know that Jannard Avery
would. Yeah.
I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see a play different 3 off-ball linebackers in this game.
I think we're going to see a different sort of game plan this week than we saw last week. I don't think it's going to be. I mean, it was pretty like vanilla. Set it and go last week against the Falcons. I don't think that's going to be the case this week. Maybe I'm putting too much stock in Johnny Gannon.
How about this strange Brandon Ayuk situation? Have you guys been reading up on this game prep this week?
I have. Kyle Shanahan's really trying to either light a fire underneath Ayuk or is displeased with Ayuk, or both, right? Because he's basically saying, like, he has to be better than the guy in front of him. And from what I've read, they think that he's been resting on his laurels a bit after the way he played last year. And it's not like he blew it up last year, right? But he ended the season
it was pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Another one of my guys.
And based on week 1, right, which was just really felt that.
Thanks.
That
Marissa, we have the clip we can use for, whatever social, wherever we promote this. That'll really reel him in. Bo just mumbling. Another one of my guys. Had to get
I got to
that in
tell
there.
you, I am working at about like 20% right now. That's
So,
the deal
Both
for
working
me.
on a good story.
I don't know if
Oh,
it's going to be
I
good.
look
That's the
forward to
problem.
reading it.
Hey,
Listen,
Bo, you always say that.
doesn't
And it always
matter.
turns out to be.
Yeah, but I really don't. This one there's too many moving parts.
Just file it and be done with it and move on to the next thing. I mean, really, come on, we're not artists. Just
I don't
interview
know.
some
No,
people.
I mean, I think what we do is an art form, right? It's
Well,
we're not-
I mean, no, I wouldn't say what I do. I mean, you can speak for yourself. I would not say week 2 picks against the spread are.
we're not
are
painting
hard
like we're not painting by the numbers here. We're putting thought and work into what we do. So
You're grizzled vets. You know the process. You know the job. You do the work. You write it in. You move on. Not everything's going to be a masterpiece. Some people
It's not like that
some
for
stuff.
me.
Some people hate other stuff. Who cares? It's your next one. All right. Brandon Ayuk played 26 snaps last week. Trent Sherfield played 27 snaps. So as Z-Berm was alluding to, it is odd. I mean, now Ayuk has had a little bit of a hamstring injury. If you're like reading between the lines of the the Matt Barrows, who covers the 49ers for us, who does a terrific job, and the other coverage on The Athletic, it's sort of like, wait, does Kyle Shanahan think he was ready to come back from this hamstring injury and should have pushed it more and, was nursed? I mean, there's all sorts of things you can point to. Maybe he is just injured and Shanahan's answering it in a weird way. We don't really know, but what we do know is he was their leading receiver last year, had 750 yards. If you play fantasy, you probably thought this guy was going to come in and light it up this year. And all of a sudden he's sort of splitting reps here with Trent Sherfield. So that's something to watch. I mean, maybe Ayuk comes in and, plays every snap in this game and lights it up. That certainly would not surprise me, but that's something to watch. Debo Samuel, George Kittle, those are the guys to keep an eye on in the passing game. Debo, one of my guys. Right? I liked him. Didn't I?
You did
Bo?
like him. You did like
That's
him.
the one guy I was right on over the last decade.
Yeah, you liked him.
He's fun to watch. He likes to inflict pain on defenders when he has the ball. So I like the juice that he has, his yards after the catch, and just kind of his physical nature. Those are all fun to watch. And George Kittle is really a similar style player.
I was going to say, I like that the one thing that everybody always says about Debo Samuel is he's got a nice caboose on him.
do people say that?
Yeah, everybody's always talking about his behind.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, can we get some more details?
He's got like an offensive lineman's Heine.
Okay. I mean, I just want more on like where
Got
these
junk in the
conversations
trunk.
took place. Who was saying this? Yeah, I understand
At the Senior
the point,
Bowl,
though.
at the
Oh, okay. Everyone was staring at the man's butt at the Senior Bowl.
we're saying,
Okay.
that he's low to the ground. He's strong because he's got that real powerful behind.
So Darius Slay
Okay.
gave an interesting comp today, or yesterday rather. He gave he compared Debo to Anquan Bolden. Says he says he has Anquan Bolden.
Highest praise.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's one of my
Anquan Bolden
is
is one of the biggest anomalies in history in terms of just like his athletic profile. Ran like a 4.8 40. Badass.
Well, when you're willing to play with a broken face and a style that breaks other people's faces, I guess it can get you pretty far. I loved Anquan Bolden. He was incredible to watch. George Kittle's healthy, so that's good for them, Kittle and Samuel. So I think that the Eagles certainly have to tackle well in this game. There's going to be a lot of short stuff, a lot of get those guys the ball and see if they can just stiff arm Eagles defenders out of bounds. So that will be another key thing to watch here.
Dan McQuaid says I have to put on headphones now because my wife is giving me a funny look. I feel like that's a good tagline for the show, just in general.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes.
Hopefully she heard the Debo Samuel conversation. I mean, we have 3 other people on this podcast, and we had no idea what you were talking about. So I don't know that everybody talks about Debo Samuel's.
You guys aren't listening to the right stuff.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
On Kittle, he had that game last year where I mean, Beathard was the quarterback, but he had 15 catches or whatever it was. I think the Eagles are probably fine, letting him sort of do that again if it's the same game plan. Like as you said, Sheil, Shanahan is more willing than others probably to take the opportunity to just move the ball slowly down the field. But I guess we'll see how that plays out. I feel like Kittle's probably in for a big day.
Well, you guys remind me on this. The game last year, what I remember is that I think Derek Barnett had a nice game, right? They made Trent Williams.
Dominated Trent Williams, yeah.
Looked bad in that game, and Trent Williams had an incredible year. So that was easily, I think, his worst game of the year. I don't remember anything from that game. Should not be a surprise. So why don't you guys
Jannard Avery had a big game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, that was Jannard Avery's best.
It was like the only game he played. Yeah. Well, it was the introduction to Travis Fulgham. He had the game-winning touchdown catch. This was the first. He was like a surprise active. So that was the most memorable thing. You had Nick Mullins throwing an interception to Alex Singleton directly into his hands, and that was also, the beginning of Alex Singleton being a part of our lives on defense. You had Adrian Killens with 1 carry for minus 11 yards. That was their big game plan wrinkle that week, was to have Adrian Killens running across the formation. Did not work very well. And then Beathard came in for Mullins and almost led them back at the end of the game. But,
right. Okay. I remember that.
It was also,
that rings a bell.
It was like the Eagles' believes in us game. They were 0-2-1 at the time going, and the Niners were the defending NFC champs, and like the Eagles were underdogs, and the Eagles win that game against backup quarterback, right? And it was very much like, put some respect to our names, you guys are writing us off after
right.
It was one of those types of weeks for the Eagles, right? And then they finished 4-11-1, but it was very like that.
You're
like right. the talk that week was like, how could people be doubting us?
Yeah.
So.
The last thing I remember, which you will remember, Sheil, was it was a Sunday night football game in California. So that meant nonstop bitching and moaning from Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Michelle Tafoya about having to wear masks.
I do remember that. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they've recovered from that. That was really.
We're in the booth. I gotta wear this thing on my mouth. It's ridiculous.
Anyone in the country or really the world over the last year, I can't think of a greater hardship than what they went through that night. So glad to see that everybody has recovered. I assume it seems like everybody has recovered there. All right.
Now, Sheil, I'd like to ask you about the defense, but
yeah, let's get to that.
I mean, we got somebody here who could probably tell us more about this defense than anybody. I mean, the man's been gassing up D'Amico Ryans nonstop. Future
I thought you were going to
head
go to a break here, maybe.
I guess we should go to a break. You're right.
We did not even mention this Niners offensive line. You mentioned Trent Williams, but this Niners offensive line is a major upgrade over what the Eagles saw in Atlanta last week. It's a veteran group. If you guys are pulling out my guy for Elijah Mitchell, Brendan Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel, I think I'm entitled to do so for Mike McGlinchey, a Philly guy.
Just like a Philly guy.
He got 100 cheesesteaks for the team. Always a storyline I appreciate. So definitely pay attention.
I think we know where those cheesesteaks are going on Deebo. Am I right?
But no, this offensive line, this is if you thought that the Eagles had the clear advantage along the lines of scrimmage last week, you can make the argument they have an advantage this week, but it is not like as pronounced. You can make the argument in the other direction too, because the Niners are good along both lines of scrimmage when healthy.
I'm trying to get some more junk in my trunk, I think. I think that'll help the IT band out a little bit, I think. So we got to strengthen up that glute. So, if you interview Deebo Samuel or anything, let me know. Is he doing squats? Is he deadlifts? Is certain type of protein he's eating to get there? Because I think I could use that. That's part of my in-season plan here. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Now their offensive line, I'm in sort of like let's see mode here with them. McGlinchey, I think, has probably been a little bit up and down. Mm-hmm. Their guards are not proven. Alex Mack is, I don't know how old, 35,
Secret
37,
world.
Something like that.
No,
and he's 35 at least, I think.
He is
Trent
35, yes.
Trent Williams is 33, 32, 33. He got the big contract in the offseason. So, I think there is a scenario where I feel like, the Eagles fans and viewers are treating that Falcons team like they were. Now, they looked like complete garbanzo beans in week 1, but I don't think that team's going to be picking in the top 5. I think that's one where it's like, all right, it was a terrible week 1. You would be a little bit discouraged for sure if you were a Falcons fan. But I mean, they have a competent veteran quarterback. They have a wide receiver who Bo's loved for a long time. I think they've sort of been up and down for years now, but I wouldn't be surprised. They should still win. I would think, 6 games minimum. So
I don't know about that.
You don't think so? You want the under on that?
I don't know. They could be really bad. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm not want to bet on it. You're probably right, but
I mean, listen, everything you mentioned about the coaching, everything was terrible. I'm not downplaying that, but I'm also all right, it was 1 week. It was their first
definitely
game.
true.
So
yeah.
let's see. So we'll see with this 49ers offensive line. I think teams that beat the 49ers this year will sort of dominate, will have their way with that offensive line. And if the Eagles defensive line performance from last week carries over, it would not totally shock me if they kind of took it to those guys. All right.
And I would say that if the Eagles don't win that matchup, it's bad news. I think they still need to win that matchup. They should win that matchup if they want to win the game.
Okay.
All right. We'll take a little break to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be back to talk about how handsome D'Amico Ryans is.
Now that the world's opening back up, so many new thrills are on the horizon. And whether you've been in a relationship for years, are just getting started, or you're excited to get back out there and meet new people, when the moment comes, you want to be ready. Roman ready. Go to GetRoman.com/BWF now to talk to U.S. licensed healthcare professional. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. Roman Ready equals confidence. The confidence that you can rise to the occasion in the moment. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, it's convenient, and it's discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/BWF and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/BWF, and if you're prescribed, get 50% off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this summer. Roman Ready. Today, many small business owners are busier than ever. Time spent searching for and interviewing candidates can take time away from managing and growing a business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs has made it easier to get the candidates worth interviewing faster, and it's free. Works for both sides. You can find the best candidates and you can find the best jobs. Creating a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with the skills and experience you need. Use screening questions to get your role in front of only the most qualified people. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates worth interviewing faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at LinkedIn.com/BWF. That's LinkedIn.com/BWF to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Birds with Friends. Speaking of incredibly handsome gentlemen, we'll give a little shout out, a little happy birthday shout out, the big 5-0 to DFOP Rich Bobby. Woo.
All right. Loyal listener from day one, I think.
I mean,
great guy,
yeah,
organized the meetup, came to the
yes.
Super Bowl meetup.
50, the other handsome Rich, as I call him.
I don't believe it. 50 for that man? Playing tennis all the time.
Gosh, I hope I'd love to look as good as he does today, let alone at 50.
I agree with that. Happy birthday to Rich Bobby. Great guy. Great.
Although I hope he's celebrating, not watching this tonight, because he deserves.
I hope he's celebrating by watching.
By watching.
No, yeah, I think he finds enjoyment. He's one of the sickos. He finds enjoyment in this. So whether he's watching on his birthday or later, I think it will be a treat for him.
Good point. Good point by one of the commenters. Great listener, but hashtag even better guy. What do you think?
I don't know. He's like an elite listener. I mean, he's a great guy. But, all right.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this defense. How handsome on a scale of 1 to 10 would you say that DeMeco Ryans is?
I have no that's a Bo thing, by the way. Like I didn't know this was a bit about DeMeco until you brought this up. Like I thought I got to know DeMeco well.
I'd call him a snack.
I don't know what that means either.
That's the first time I've ever used that. I didn't really like it.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty neat, Bo, that you used to.
Well, so Bo's been saying that I've been gassing him up, and I'll explain the background of that. DeMeco's one of these guys who, I would say that he's one of the 3 or 4 most respected teammates during my time covering the team. Like universally, both sides of the ball. Rookies, veterans, they really respected DeMeco. He was considered future coaching material when he was a player, obviously quickly rising. When the Eagles interviewed Mayo during the offseason, and Mayo might have been a very worthy interview. I thought if you're going to talk to a linebackers coach that's short on experience, you should talk to DeMeco too, because I think DeMeco Ryans is going to be a head coach one day.
I can't believe Bo didn't make a terrible joke there when you said when they interviewed Mayo. How did you not cut it? It must have killed you. You must be reading the comments about interrupt Zach last. That's my only explanation.
I am trying to.
Okay. Because I couldn't believe it. I was staring right at you and I saw the wheel spinning in your head and you held off.
Well, because of course that's all NFL organizations do is interview Mayo.
Let's see. All right.
White guy after white guy. Yeah.
It just took a little while.
What I like about Zach's DeMeco love is that it falls into the category of like the things that he says are definite, as opposed to like the things that usually he's giving both sides. He's presenting the nuance, but sometimes he'd be like, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl, and he's right. He turns out to be correct, but he says DeMeco Ryans future head coach, just as a plainly stated fact.
Yes, I will. I mean, I don't know what the odds are there, but I would put all my turkeys in on DeMeco Ryans becoming a head coach.
Really? Wow, unbelievable.
Yeah,
okay.
I think he's going to be a head coach.
I mean, they gave up like 30+ points to Jared Goff last week.
I think he could very well could be somebody who's a better head coach than defensive coordinator.
I would imagine so. Yeah, sure.
Because I think of what Zach said, his ability to relate to people, leadership, those things. So, but to get that opportunity, especially that defense has to play a lot better than they did last week. So they're a traditional 4-3 defense, a lot of zone coverage, not like only zone. They will play some man, but heavy zone. Last year they played quite a bit of quarters coverage. I think they played a lot of cover 3 there in week 1. So you're looking at cover 3 quarters and then some cover 1 man. Not going to blitz a lot. We'll blitz a little. I do know Kyle Shanahan said in the offseason he thought one of the changes in their defense could be that DeMeco Ryans would be more aggressive than Robert Saleh, but that did not bear itself out there in week 1. Banged up. I mean, their cornerback situation is bad. Emmanuel Mosley was supposed to be a starter. He missed week 1 with a hamstring injury. Jason Verrett was supposed to be a starter. He went out week 1 and is gone for the season. So they started, I don't know if this was one of your guys, Bo.
Diamador Lenoir.
There you go. Good job.
From Oregon.
Rookie 5th round pick. He started last week. K'Wan Williams in the slot. He's a solid veteran player, but it's certainly a position that's a bit up in the air.
That what you were talking about before reminded me of two of my favorite football sayings. One is the one that Jonathan Gannon has given us about like having backups at each position. You need a pair and a spare, just like that.
Never heard that before.
Sounds good to me. I've never heard it until him. Okay. And then the other one I like is see a little, see a lot. Love that. See a little, see a lot.
Yeah, not every coach agrees with that one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think his buddy Brandon Staley actually poo-poos that sentiment.
Oh.
He says we want to see a lot, see a lot.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I'm sure it's different at different positions, right?
It's
like you want your safeties to see a lot, but maybe you want your linebackers to see a little, see a lot.
It's like the coach your coaches thing. Some people say coach your coaches. Others say hire them for a reason. My job is not to coach my coaches. My job is to let them cook. So, it varies. So that's their defense. Up front, Nick Bosa, Bo's boy, and Eric Armstead are going to be the two guys to certainly.
Yeah, good guy, Nick Bosa.
To keep an eye on their best pass rushers. So a lot will be about blocking those two. Fred Warner, outstanding coverage linebacker who got a big deal in the offseason. That's another player to keep an eye on, but they lose a linebacker, Dre Greenlaw, who had a big play last week. So that's their personnel.
How do they
I just bored myself. Who cares?
Traditionally under Saleh, are they taking away big plays? Do you think we're going to see more downfield passing from Jalen Hurts in this game because of the way that the Niners play defense?
No, they were zone heavy and don't give up big plays. Now that depends if you're playing a lot of cover 3. That's only a single high safety, which they will do, which they did in week 1. And Jared Goff's numbers are are certainly distorted by the late comeback, but I think they had more explosive plays than any offense in the NFL last week. Now, again, a lot of that came in the final 10 minutes when they were trailing 41-17. But I don't think their personnel is so good that you can't push the ball downfield against them. All right.
Any thoughts, Zach?
Swooper.
All right. Well,
about the 49ers defense, it's
what do you think is going to happen in the game?
Well, we're going to talk about the game, but
we'll get to the game.
But the Niners defense. Look, I know you commented on Nick Bosa as a person. I don't know Nick Bosa as a person. I know him as a football player.
I don't want to know Nick Bosa as a person.
He's an outstanding pass rusher, and he's the type of guy who can change a game if you're not ready. So pay attention to him. Pay attention to Fred Warner. I think about there was this Fred Warner anecdote during the offseason where he was at BYU. I believe Albert Breer wrote this. He was at BYU's pro day, and Robert Saleh wanted to see how tall Zach Wilson was because he didn't know if like the measurement was correct. So he asked Fred Warner to go stand next to him, like to see if they were like eye to eye or neck to neck. I always imagine like if someone's like, is Darren Sproles really that short? Can you go stand next to Berman over there? Like just so I can confirm you're that short. That was a little self-deprecation.
Maybe you send Byron Leftwich over to an offensive lineman to see if the guy weighs what you think he does.
My cousin brought that up to me last night. Actually, he brought up the Leftwich story. He wanted to know. He wanted to know what came up there. But
call back for listeners. There's some tension, long-standing tension between Zach and Byron Leftwich.
Zero long-standing tension. Zero. Absolutely zero.
I really hope Leftwich has a friend who is a listener and it's just like, dude, why are they bringing your name up here for no reason? You're trying to prepare for a game.
He's taking shots at Zach. I'm protecting my boy.
To get back to the 49ers, I think the big thing here is that they are beat up in the secondary. I think that secondary can be exploited, and we'll get to it in the matchup component of it. But I think if you're looking for San Francisco's weakness, it would be the secondary right now, especially after losing Jason Verrett.
Yes. Okay. Let's take our last commercial break. And then we'll be back with Swooper Storecasting and our Crystal Bald Eagle predictions.
There's big news from our favorite home security company. Simply Safe just launched their new wireless outdoor security camera. That's right, Simply Safe, the system that U.S. News and World Report names Best Home Security System of 2021, just got even better. This brand new outdoor security camera is engineered with all the advanced tech and security features you want and need to help keep you and your family safe. It has an ultra-wide 140-degree field of view, so you can watch over your entire yard. It has 1080p HD resolution with an 8x zoom. That means you can zoom in and clearly see things like faces and license plates to capture critical evidence. It has a built-in spotlight with color night vision, so you can keep an eye on what's going on day and night. It's super simple to set up and usually just takes minutes. And it has an easy-to-remove rechargeable battery, so it doesn't need an outlet and can go anywhere on your property. This camera has it all, and it integrates with your Simply Safe home security system, extending its protection to the outside. Together, it means every door, window, and room are protected, and now your property will be too. To learn more about the exciting new SimpliSafe wireless outdoor security camera, visit simplisafe.com/athletic. What's more, SimpliSafe is celebrating the new camera by offering 20% off your entire new system and your first month of monitoring service free when you enroll in interactive monitoring. Again, that's simplisafe.com/athletic. With today's low interest rates, it's a great time to refinance your student loans. Earnest offers low-rate student loan refinancing, and you can check your rate risk-free in just 2 minutes. With Earnest, you get radically flexible payments, and you can pick your loan term. By refinancing, you can reduce your loan term, save money, or combine multiple loans into a single monthly payment. And if you have questions, you can even talk to a real live human at Earnest for help. Isn't it time you stopped feeling overwhelmed by your student debt? Earnest is offering our listeners a $100 cash bonus. Refinance your student debt at earnest.com/birds. Terms and conditions apply. Now Earnest is giving our listeners a $100 bonus. Refinance your student loans at earnest.com/birds. Terms and conditions apply. Once again, you get a $100 cash bonus when you visit earnest.com/birds to refinance your student loan. Not available in all states. Terms and conditions apply.
Earnest Student Loan Refinancing made by Earnest Operations LLC, NMLS number 1204917, California Financing Law, license number 6054788, 535 Mission Street, San Francisco, California, 94105. Visit earnest.com/licenses for a full list of licenses.
All right, welcome back to Birds with Friends. We return for Swooper Storecasting. If you are new to the show, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the butt talk. And Swooper Storecasting, the three of us each submit 3 things that we think have a chance to happen on the game on Sunday. We pull 3 from the chat, and then we bid with our turkeys on what we think is most likely, and whoever has the most things happen correct that week gets the win for the week. Last week, we all had one thing happen, and so no blood. We're all tied up at a third of a point heading into week 2. Marissa, are you ready to begin the proceedings?
I'm ready. And I would like to say the chat was very creative today. We have some very, very creative submissions. So I think this will be a very interesting week of Swooper Storecasting. So
I'll be the judge of that.
And by the way, sorry, just to set the thing here, Zach begins with 32 turkeys. He has 8 turkeys left over. I have 29 turkeys. I have 5 left over. Sheil has 24 turkeys. He blew his wad last week.
It's a long season. Just telling you that. It's a long season. Okay.
Zach is not going to be buying any turkeys tonight.
All right, speed round, Swooper Storecasting.
All right, let's go. Trey Lance will either produce an explosive play, 20 yards or more, or score a touchdown, run, or pass.
1.
Good one. Whoever came up with that.
2.
3.
4.
4.
You both went 4.
I think I got
5.
it first. Okay.
Well, you didn't, but I'll go 5.
Do I hear 6?
6.
Ooh.
Going once? Going twice? Sold to Zach for 6.
All right.
Okay.
This man came to play this week.
Red zone
That's
quarterback,
like his
right?
freebie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I watched Justin Fields the other night. Like, they put him in the goal line, scores a touchdown.
Okay.
He should be playing the whole game.
Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett will combine for more sacks than Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead.
Another good one. Wow.
1.
We're off to a good start.
2.
I'll say 3.
4.
Hmm.
Do I hear 5? Going once?
5.
6.
Ooh. I'm out.
Zach?
I'm sitting this one.
All right.
All right.
Sold to Sheil for 6. 2 Sixers off the bat. Okay. This will probably be a 6 or 2. Nick Sirianni does a new special handshake with someone other than Jalen Hurts.
Mm.
1.
I assume this would have to be caught on camera, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, would have to be caught on camera. That's true.
Or social media. I would say.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
they said it, or they said it in a press conference or something.
So Darius Slay says he wants one. He says he's jealous and he wants one, but he would need to have an interception or something. Like there needs to be a play that would warrant such a handshake because
He had a nice
doesn't get
third
burned.
down stop last week.
Yeah.
He could have warranted it.
Although that play, I think, was actually just a Calvin Ridley drop.
Okay, listen, if you're a
You would
DB,
say
you
that,
take credit
yeah.
for that. Yeah.
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 2.
3.
So I hear
3.
Yes, Zach went 3.
okay.
I'm out.
I'll go 4.
You can have it.
All right. Sold to Bo for 4.
I feel like it could become a thing.
Devontae Smith has a
Ooh.
play of 50 plus yards.
Ooh,
50.
50. 1.
2.
That's a lot of hooch. Not sure that's his game, you know?
Going once.
His game is everything.
Oh, wow.
No, I mean I'm serious. Like he's not just
That's
like
true.
a possession guy. He had big plays in Alabama, right?
Shout out to Nate Tice with a nice breakdown
Yes.
of Devontae Smith's week 1 performance on it. Was that his newsletter or his Substack?
Substack.
And you
Substack.
can hear more about that breakdown on tomorrow's episode of the Athletic Football Show.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
2
Well,
for
I have 2. Anybody else?
I'll go 3. I mean, that's a fun thing to see happen if it happens.
All right. I'll give it to you for 3.
All right.
Okay. Sold to Bo for 3. Okay.
Told you I was unprepared. I'm writing this on a napkin.
I'm
It's
keeping
more
track.
prepared than I am for anyone.
All right. Debo Samuel will have an explosive play, 20 yards or more, that will include a Darius Slay missed tackle.
So the missed tackle.
How many turkeys do I
element
have left?
Wow.
You've used 7.
I know. I have 22 left. 1.
2.
3.
4.
5.
6.
Wow.
I mean, he had 189 yards.
Six
last week.
burger. I know.
He did.
And
He had a 70 plus yard catch. Yeah.
Darius
Apparently
Slay
that's
is
his game and not Devontae
happy
Smith's.
Oh, yes.
I'm the one who bought it.
Oh man, outstanding. Keep it coming.
All right. Anyone
I'm
7?
gonna let it go for 6, unless Zach wants to jump in.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Sold to Sheil for 6.
She'll
Okay.
have 12 turkeys left.
If I
This
use
next
them
one?
all on this next one, can I sign off? I think I ask this every week.
You gotta give your
No, I gotta do the
prediction.
prediction. Okay.
This
Yeah.
next one was a chat submission, and I just thought it was very creative and could be fun. Okay. Jalen Hurts has a completion longer than the 49ers' longest field goal.
It's a good
So
one.
Robbie
That's
Gould-
the kind of bird line that Zach likes to come up with.
That's a good
So
one.
their kicker Robbie Gould, who's from Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania. I always like that. I believe he went to college with Sheil. I think
He
he's
did,
at Penn
and
State
he
at
was
the
a
same time.
terrible, terrible college kicker. As I think I've done this bit every time Eagles have played them. I'm like, this guy was a disaster in college, but kudos to him. He got it together and had a long career.
1,
2,
3.
4.
Now, if they don't complete a field goal, he automatically
Exactly.
gets it.
Exactly.
That's true. Good point.
5,
6,
7.
8.
Ooh.
Going once,
I mean,
going twice.
why are you so confident in this one? I don't want
It
it.
just seems like a good bet. I
9.
think.
9.
Nine?
I don't know. After the gun.
He got it in. He got it in.
Yeah,
All right.
I
You
want
got it
more
in.
of these. I want more of these binary bets. I think some of my bets have had
I don't like that you're
Too much of a
catching on to the game now.
of not occurring. So So I want some of them where there's like a clear winner, one or the other.
That's good. That's why I'm saying 10.
Wow.
11.
Wow.
All right, you got it.
11.
That was a good one.
Wowzers.
Okay, this is also another.
And that's longest field goal made, right? Not longest field goal attempted.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this is another creative one. The Eagles' defense will have more sacks, interceptions than Trey Lance has snaps.
Good one.
One.
And I would say it's more or equal to. I will make the executive decision.
I like that.
Executive
Okay.
decision. So if it's like
so
4
equal
total.
to goes to the Eagle. It counts.
Yes.
So for
okay.
I will
our listeners, he had 4 offensive snaps in week 1.
Right. And the Eagles only had 3 sacks, no interceptions.
I mean, I should have had more than 3 sacks, but what did you bid? 1?
I said 1, yeah.
I'll go 2.
3.
How do you even have turkeys left?
I have 22 turkeys left. I have the most turkeys
Get
left.
in like a crazy man over there.
You've got 12. Zach has 15.
4.
5.
All right, I'm out.
Zach?
I
Going
got to
once.
conserve my turkeys after
Twice.
going 11.
All right. Sold to Bo for 5.
I've got 17. Zach
Alessandro?
has 15. Sheil has 12. Sorry.
That's okay. D'Alessandro's is mentioned on the broadcast.
Now we have to be specific here, because does footage of D'Alessandro's count, including the sign, or do they have to say the word D'Alessandro's?
You have to say D'Alessandro's. 1,
2.
3.
4,
5.
Going once. Going twice. Sold to Sheil for 5.
So a
See
little
what's working.
background. So
Go
real
ahead.
quick here, Mike McGlinchey is getting 100 cheesesteaks from D'Alessandro's for this game. So if they talk about Mike McGlinchey's homecoming, I imagine that anecdote comes
This
up.
is a lock. I can't believe you guys gave me that one for 5. I was
They
ready
may-
to use all my turkeys.
Well,
on
you
that.
got to keep in mind that this is not an A broadcast they're sending to this game.
Listen, if there is a cheesesteak hook during an Eagles game, they're getting to it.
Yes, but
It-
here's the thing. Here's the wrinkle. They could say he got 100 cheesesteaks.
That's true.
Well,
Can
Well,
I just say D'Alessandro's?
Tessitore is not calling the game. So someone pointed out to me that during the Saints Packers, I haven't seen the clip yet. I saw a still frame. There was a thing of the Athletics' most intriguing players, where I did that column, and it had Aaron Rodgers at number 1, but I don't think I got a mention. So wasn't that that was part of one of our games?
It
or
was
something,
yours,
right?
but you said it was going to be about Zach or me.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was your prediction. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right.
But yeah, we're happy for your pop.
Well, I got no pop. The Athletic
Yeah.
got pop. Company man, I guess. All right.
Yep.
All right.
All right. 4 left.
The Eagles have more penalties than last week.
Oof. 1.
How many did they have last week?
14, I think.
Whew.
Should,
not getting
we
on
should
this.
we
More
should
than
clarify
14?
more. Yeah, so more than 14.
It's a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
I submitted this one hoping you guys would bid it up, honestly. Yeah, this was like when you're in an auction draft and you put someone in that you don't want, because you want other people to spend their money.
Right.
But I thought there'd be more than $1 or more than 1 turkey on this occurring. I'm not gonna put 2 on this, so you can have it for 1.
All right. I'll take it.
Sorry, I cut out there for a second.
I
So
got it
Bo
for
Oh,
1.
gets it for 1.
for 1. Okay.
All right. 3 left. I've got 16. Zach's got 15. Sheil's got 7.
You have
Okay.
16?
Yes.
Jeez.
Okay, so this one is a really, really interesting one. I know I've said that a lot, but like really, really cool submissions.
I
this
think
week.
Marissa went to Atlanta. I mean, she's like, I don't
She
know
had some
what's
Mary
going
Max.
on here. I'm like,
got a
let's
long
get this
day.
over with. I know for a fact Marissa's got like a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And yet she's loving these submissions.
I
All
am
right.
loving this one. All right. Brandon Ayuk and Quez Watkins will combine for more yards than Zach Ertz and George Kittle. So we're really mixing things up here.
Mm.
I don't think this is gonna happen, but 1 just
2.
to get in the game.
Go 3.
4.
You see, both Ayuk and Watkins are capable of chunk plays, more so than I think Ertz and Kittle would be.
Yeah, I don't know. Kittle
at least
is
Ertz.
capable.
At least Ertz,
Kittle
I
can
should
do it all,
say.
Zach.
That he can. You're right. You're right.
Where are we? Did
I think I
say
have 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll go 5.
6.
Can't go full 7 on this bad boy.
Hmm.
Zeber, you out?
I'm out.
All right.
All
Sold
right.
the bow for 6.
2 left.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yep, 2 more. Elijah Mitchell leads all players in rushing yards.
1.
That was my guy.
Are we expecting this? By the way, are we expecting this to be a Mitchell game or a Sermon game? They didn't have any.
You don't know with them. Yeah, they could just play somebody we've never heard of.
Trenton Cannon.
Jermichael Hasty.
So 3.
Four.
I will go 3 here.
Oh, leads all players. That's both teams,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Both teams.
Okay.
5.
6.
I have a number I wanted to carry in the next week, and going with 6 will hurt me there. So you can have it.
Oh, gets up for 5 or 6?
No,
6.
I have no interest.
Oh, 6.
Okay.
Okay, last one. An Eagles wide receiver catches a pass at least 30 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Love a good air yards.
Love it.
Super sore
1.
4.
7.
8.
All right. You got it, Zach.
All right.
All right. So Zach has 3. He has the one we just had over at least 30 air yards. He has Trey Lance scores a 20-yard play or a touchdown, and Jalen Hurts, his longest completion is longer than the Falcons' longest field goal, and he's got 7 turkeys left over. Sheil also has 7 turkeys left over. He has 3 things. He has Sweat and Barnett with more sacks than Armstead and Bosa. He has the Debo Slay missed tackle 20 yards thing, and the Delisandro's mentioned. I've got 4 turkeys left. I've got the Sirianni handshake, Devontae Smith, a 50-plus play. Eagles sacks plus interceptions is more than Trey Lance snaps. The Eagles have more penalties than last week. The Quez and Ayuk over Ertz and Kittle, and Elijah Mitchell leading all players on both teams in rushing yards.
Both. There's a
you
request
go.
to show your napkin to the camera. Wonderful.
I wrote these all out, so I will Slack them to you in our channel.
All right.
In case the napkin goes missing.
You have to
I'm
blow
just
your
going to
nose or
drop.
something.
You know what I'm going to do, Zach? I'm going to give this napkin to you at practice tomorrow, and then I know that you'll probably see Dennis at some point, so you can just hand it to Dennis.
I do pass him a lot in Grad Hospital.
That sounds disgusting. All right.
All right, let's get to the Crystal Ball Eagles so Sheil can do his actual job.
Or
I don't know. You don't. A napkin is not something you pass
I thought you meant
around
seeing
from
Dennis in
human
Grad
to
Hospital
human.
is disgusting.
No,
I was
seeing
like, there's
Dennis
nothing
is not
disgusting about
disgusting.
that. It's a
No.
beautiful area.
No,
Yeah.
passing napkin, to others.
I could just
is-
email Dennis my list.
There you go. That's official.
All right. You want me to go first for the
Sure,
prediction?
you're on the record.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, are we keeping track of these or anything, or are these with the spread, or just did you get it right or wrong, or do we not do that?
Good
I
question.
don't think we do.
We
that.
should keep track.
We should keep track.
Okay.
Yeah.
Add that to
Uh,
the napkin for Dennis.
Do you want to keep track whether you picked it right against the spread, or just whether you
Both.
picked them?
Both.
okay.
Let's do straight up and spread.
Both.
I am
All right.
0-1 straight up, and I am 1-0 against the spread.
Okay.
Okay.
And
I'm
Bo and I
2-0.
are both.
Yeah.
we're
We both picked him to
1-0
win.
on
Yeah.
both. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe it might have been.
Brett is
Bo-
3.5 right now. Is that right?
I think it came down to 3. I don't have it in
Straight
front
3,
of me. but I
okay.
think it came down to 3. Yes. So maybe it was Bo's, performances this week that has me thinking maybe this team is a little bit better than I gave them credit for. But I hate to be a broken record here with the upfront line of scrimmage conversation. But as long as the Eagles are healthy, that is a conversation. And so I look at it, and I think they're going to be able to, I don't know if they're going to completely neutralize Bosa and Armstead, but I think they'll be able to block those guys. I don't think it's a hard team to prepare for. I don't think they do a lot of things that are really creative with their blitzes or fronts or anything like that. So it's just, a matter of, can you block those 2 players, really, in my opinion. And I think you're going to have an ability to push the ball downfield and make some plays against those cornerbacks. So I think the Eagles are going to be able to move the football in this game. On the other side of the ball, certainly have some questions. Are they going to be able to neutralize San Francisco's run game? Are the linebackers going to be good enough to not leave these gaping holes when they use play action? So I think the 49ers are going to move the football as well. But why is everyone laughing? I mean, you got to put the comment out there if there's something funny.
Some good napkin talk.
I want to see the napkin talk. You think? All right. That is good. If you don't know what we're talking about, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, Birds with Friends, and watch it this weekend. So I don't know. I'm going with the Eagles. I think they're going to pull this one out. I think they're going to get the city really excited. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think they're going to make some plays, and I've got them winning 27-26 in a rather high-scoring affair.
You got to think, I mean, they win this game. Then you get the extra day before Dallas next week on Monday night.
Oh, is that what it is?
Frenzy.
Okay.
Frenzy.
Home or away? Home or away?
Away, down there.
Away.
Down there.
You know what that means, Sheil?
And Dallas is going to be 0-2.
Time to get a dose. Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
Go ahead. You want me to go, Zach, or you want to go?
I will go. So going into the season, I picked the Eagles to lose week 1 and win week 2. And I did not expect the Eagles to look as they did in week 1. But I'm going to stick to my prediction in week 2. I think the Niners are a good team, and this is going to be a tough matchup. It's going to be tougher along the lines of scrimmage, but I think Seattle I'm sorry, I keep saying Seattle. San Francisco is beat up on defense. The secondary, I think the Eagles have an advantage there. I think they'll be able to move the ball. Not pandering to our audience here, but I think it's going to be a jazzed up home crowd, right? I think they're.
You stole Bo's entire take.
We've got some good. We got some good questions this week.
Yeah, I mean, this is the.
What's it gonna feel like?
This is the first time there's a full crowd since that playoff game after the 2019 season. Think about how much has changed since then. By the way, right?
Think about Carson Wentz finally waking up with a clear head, and this is what he turns into. Tunes into.
Yeah, so I think the Eagles are going to be ready for this one, and I have them winning 27-24. So narrowly beating the over. The over, I believe, is 50.5.
Pick them
for this game, and the Eagles get to 2-0, and there's a lot of buzz, a lot of energy going into next week's game. But I will say real quick, I think Miles Sanders has a good game this week. Yeah, and not that he had a bad game last week. And I think Devontae Smith has a big game this week as well.
Okay. I've sort of been thinking about the Niners season like they're not going to be worried about a loss. Like a loss is not bad because then they can hasten the change to Trey Lance. Like they're not really worried about it. So I could sort of see it going that way. I don't feel good about going a full slate of Eagles picks here, though.
That's a homer podcast if I ever heard one.
Yeah, I don't like that. They're doing the trip to Detroit, back to San Francisco, out to Philadelphia, across the country.
They're staying in West
Virginia. They stayed in West Virginia. They stayed in West Virginia this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so
tells you how much I've been.
Sorry, Matt Barrows. 2 of us read your work at the end.
Well, that does make sense.
3 of us. Sorry, Marissa. 3 of us read your work at the end.
So I guess that doesn't matter. But they've been away from home for a week and a half. So what kind of impact is that going to have?
That's wrong too. They all moved to West Virginia.
Well, that song, of course, is not about West Virginia. It's about the western part of Virginia.
By the way, I'm the one cutting you off here.
Please, I deserve it. Long time coming.
If you do go San Francisco here, and the Eagles win, you can't come up with the thing after the game. Well, I thought the Eagles were going to win, but I didn't want to be.
The head of it.
How dare you? Of course, I can do that.
I mean, this is the week. Seaberm's just going next level, like all the nuances, when it's the quarterback, and they're like. Look how he just moved that safety with his eyes right there. That's the sign that this guy's taking the next step. That's what I'm seeing with Seaberm.
You're out of your mind if you think I can't do that. I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah, I mean, I think before the season, I said they were going to win week 1 and then start 2-4 because of this tough schedule. I think they're already better than I thought that they would be. San Francisco doesn't scare me that much just yet with Jimmy Garoppolo, but I don't want to go three for 3 here. So I'm going to take the Eagles to beat the spread, but lose 24-23, but in an exciting way that makes you still feel good about them. And everybody is still gassed up about Monday Night Football in Dallas next week. So I don't feel good about that, but Elijah Mitchell's 99-yard touchdown run is gonna make it happen.
Well, the Atlanta stuff had to wear off at some point, All right, bye.
Man, I want them to win.
Real quick.
Pick what you think's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Pick what you think.
I think we have a long
to
record here of being reasonable, objective, accountable reporters. Like, if we all pick the Eagles to win, that's not being homers. That's thinking that they could win a game. Like, it's not unreasonable to win a home game when you're 3-point underdogs.
Seriously, I don't want to hear your
27-21 Eagles.
stuff. All right,
okay, there he goes.
Thank God. It would have been unbearable otherwise. All right.
Real quick, I don't want to speak on Bo's behalf. Bo has a story coming out that I'm excited to read, or coming out soon. I don't want to say when it's coming out. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I saw a look on your face there. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I had a story out today on just an interesting backstory on they're wearing these dog culture shirts, right? You heard the dog mentality, and they're actually created by a cancer survivor in Maryland, unaffiliated with the team, has really no connection with the Eagles outside of gave a sweatshirt to Zach Pascal, the wide receiver in Indianapolis. Nick Sirianni liked the sweatshirt. The Colts wear these. When he came to Philly, he bought 200. He bought over 200 sweatshirts for the organization. This guy Mike Hill in Maryland was kind of waiting for this to happen. He sold these sweatshirts, waiting for them to pull it out. Comes out week 1 and his phone's been blowing up ever since. So that's on The Athletic right now.
TheAthletic.com/birds with friends, 50% off.
True or false, Zach? You wrote this story only to settle the spelling of dog versus dog.
I did not write it only for that, but I did ask him. I said, I got to ask you, why do you go DAWG or over DO and or over DOG? And he answered that one. So that's in there as well.
All right. Well, we are truly limping to the finish line here. So let's close this bad boy up. Get a chance to watch the NFCs for everybody else. So for Zach, Sheil, and Marissa, I'm Bo. Thanks for listening. Zach and I will be back after the game on Sunday. What 3 of us think is going to be an Eagles win. So maybe we'll be live again here on YouTube. So thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later. As always, we love you.